I'm Josh Kelly, welterweight, currently 6-0, fighting for the Commonwealth title. Follow sport icons.
Now all I'm seeing online is people talking about ERROL SPENCE Jr. and TERENCE CRAWFORD. And that's all well and good if both these fighters are willing to fight each other. But for one reason or another, it seems that the promoters, the fighters, and even the fans are giving both fighters a pass because TERENCE CRAWFORD is with Top Rank and ERROL SPENCE is with PBC. Why is that giving them a pass? Oh, well, because the two promoters, Al Heyman, Bob Arum, don't want to work together. Neither one of them is willing to let their fighter go fight on the other network. So if the fighters really want the fight will get made. And there's plenty of examples of that in history. And there's plenty of different ways around it. The most recent one, Linares. He's with Golden Boy, right? Fights on HBO. Lomachenko fights on ESPN with Top Rank. Bob Arum. Linares said to Oscar De La Hoya, Golden Boy, I want to fight Lomachenko, make it happen. And guess what? They made it happen. And guess what? Linares got paid well for it. So did Oscar De La Hoya. So these things can be worked out. If Crawford and ERROL SPENCE say to their respective promoters, we want this fight and we want it next. We want it now. We don't want this being marinated. It doesn't need to be marinated. We want it on now. Let's capitalise while the fans are talking about it. Guess what? They will come to some kind of arrangement. Maybe they do a 2-fight deal. The first fight being on Showtime. Second fight being on ESPN or vice versa. Or both ESPN and Showtime show this fight at the same time. Both put it up for pay-per-view if it's a pay-per-view fight. I'm not convinced that it is, to be honest. But, well, of course, I'm speaking from a British perspective. Over here, there's no way people in the UK are going to pay pay-per-view for that. No way. But, I don't know, maybe some might. But regardless of that, in America, what, is pay-per-view maybe? Okay, so why don't ESPN do pay-per-view, Showtime do pay-per-view, and then just split the profits? Split the money, 50-50, right down the middle. What's wrong with that? But yet the fans are giving promoters and these fighters a pass, saying, oh, well, it's because of the network. Oh, well, it's because of Top Rank. It's because of Al Heyman. No, if the fighters want the fight will happen. They will work out a deal. And fighters are also saying, well, maybe this fight should marinate so it kind of grows into a big, huge super fight. Okay, what happens if one of these guys loses between now and then? What happens? Then you don't get that fight, right? Also, this fight should be marinated, yet Joshua versus Wilder should not be. Even though that was the original thing that Eddie Hearn was saying. Let this fight marinate. Wilder, go fight some top opposition. Stop your cherry picking, stop messing around. Let's make this fight a super fight. But no, the fans want it now. Okay. But yet Joshua's had 21 fights. ERROL SPENCE has had more fights than Joshua. TERENCE CRAWFORD has had even more fights than that. So, why is it that Wilder Joshua doesn't need to be marinated, but Spence and Crawford does? It's weird that, isn't it? So, the fans seem to be collective right now of, well, one of them should go fight the winner of Sean Porter and Danny Garcia, and the other one should go fight Keith Thurman. Well, first of all, we know Keith Thurman, he doesn't even want to fight. Never mind fight for another unification. He doesn't even want to do that. Or it appears so anyway. Or failing that, he's very, very unlucky with injuries. I don't know which one it is. Maybe Danny Garcia, Sean Porter don't want to unify. Maybe. We don't know. So why is it everyone's looking at Thurman and Porter, Garcia, instead of looking at Spence versus Crawford now? Is there any reason why it can't happen now? And don't say network issues, because things can be worked out. As I said, do a 2-fight deal, or both networks show the fight. Or go to a bid. Whoever bids the highest, you get it. Because Bob Arum and Al Heyman and the fighters are still going to get a crap load of money. The only people who's missing out here is the fans, right? So rather than giving these guys a pass, regardless of who it is that you fanboy for, or who it is that you like, or who you think is going to win, or where you think the fight should be, right, forget that. It's going to be in America, yes. And it's going to be pay-per-view, yes. So just work out who's going to be the pay-per-view. Or both of them pay-per-view. As I said, maybe some people have ESPN. Some people have Showtime. Maybe some people have both. So choose which one. But at the end of the day, all the money goes together and the money gets split evenly across anyway. So what's the problem? Now, I know that Errol Spence isn't particularly talking about Terence Crawford, which I'm very disappointed in him, to be honest, because I thought that Errol Spence was the real deal. When he won the title from Kell Brook, okay, in contentious circumstances, we know that. But either way, he won. And I said that the winner of Kell Brook, Errol Spence, will be, in my mind, the legitimate number one at 147. So, right away when he won that, he goes and calls out Danny Garcia. Great. He calls out Sean Porter. Great. Keith Thurman. Great. He's doing everything that he needs to do. None of these guys want to fight him, so he goes down the IBF rankings. He chooses the best possible opponent, which is Lamont Peterson. Fantastic. Then the IBF, as IBF do, force him into an IBF mandatory. Yet these same people giving him a pass for fighting Ocampa, but yet nobody was giving Kell Brook a pass when Kell Brook was also forced to fight IBF mandatories. The IBF don't play. You don't fight your mandatory, you get stripped. But yet people weren't giving Kell Brook a pass, but yet they are going to give Errol Spence a pass for that, right? It's the same situation. It's exactly the same. The people who nobody wanted Kell Brook to fight are now going to be the same ones who Errol Spence are going to have to fight. Unless he gets unifications. It's the only way around it. Otherwise, Errol Spence is going to be fighting people you don't want him to see for the next however long. If Al Heyman just doesn't want to work with Bob Arum, then okay. Or Bob Arum doesn't want to work with Al Heyman, however it may be. Okay, fine. Okay, Errol Spence is not exclusive to Showtime, is he? He doesn't have to fight on Showtime. He can say, no. Heyman, you're just my advisor, right? I'm paying you to advise me. Even though technically I shouldn't really need to, because surely I'm a grown man and I can advise myself and I can see what's a good deal for me, right? But I'm going to pay you to advise me, right? And you're going to put me on Showtime. Okay, that's great, but I want Terence Crawford. So therefore, I am choosing to go on ESPN to fight Crawford. It's as simple as that, isn't it? He's not legally obligated to fight on Showtime, is he? Or maybe he has one of those contracts where he is. But if not, okay, go to Eddie Hearn and DAZN. Eddie Hearn and Bob Arum, they've worked together numerous times. And they'll continue to work together. So this fight can be made. It's not like Errol Spence has to stay on Showtime. It's not like Terence Crawford has to, well maybe Terence Crawford has to stay on ESPN. Maybe that is part of his contract. I don't know. But as I said, there are ways to work around it. It seems to me that unless Errol Spence is legally tied to Showtime, then he's the one holding up the fight, right? As he's not really calling out Crawford, he seems to avoid his name whenever it's mentioned. He seems to switch it, much like Keith Thurman was with Errol Spence. There he is. There is a big fight right there. It's the fighter's fault it's not happening. And you fans, are you really going to give them a pass saying, well, it's the networks? It's not the networks. There are ways around it. As I said, there's plenty of ways around it. If these guys want the fight, then get them into the fight. You have a voice, yes? Tell them, get the damn fight done. What are you waiting for? Don't you guys all want unified champions and undisputed? Or does that only apply where Josh was concerned? And Wilder? No? Right. So, get onto the backs of Terence Crawford and Errol Spence. Say, no games. Errol Spence, you are not legally obligated to fight on Showtime, so no excuses. Go over to ESPN and fight on pay-per-view then. Otherwise, find another route. Get it done. Very, very simple. I don't know what the problem is. Why are fans debating about who would win? And, oh, well, it's because of Bob Arum. Oh, well, it's because of Al Heyman. Oh, well, it's because of this. No, it's because of the fighters. There are options. Why are you giving them a pass? Don't give them a pass. You have to hold these guys to the same standard that you hold everybody else, right? So get the fight done. Get it done. What's the problem? Both these guys had more fights than Joshua, right? But Yet Joshua has been stepping up. Why are these guys not doing it? Get it on. Let's see what happens. Or maybe it's not a pay-per-view fight. Maybe it's pay-per-view only in the minds of YouTubers. Who knows? I don't know. Drop your thoughts below. Click that thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you all on the next video.